Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Shanghai Major. Here we are in the major qualifiers for the NASA region. Our first game of the entire qualifiers. Elite Wolves going up against Digital Chaos. Of course, Elite Wolves becoming one of the open qualifier winners in Digital Chaos. Well, they deserve to be here after a couple of strong performances all across the world. They just recently actually got to the Dota Pit lane as well through the NASA region. So looking forward to seeing how they play there. But for now, we'll see if they can get to Shanghai. Their first test will be up against Elite Wolves, the Peruvian squad, just
Only
barely getting over that of Team Unknown. X-Unknown, I guess. Team Infamous is called them now. But nonetheless, they'll be here, ready to go. Two-game series is underway. We've got Cart Dota doing stats. My name is Mott here on Mock Dota 2. And, of course, we have Purge as well from Vegetable Gamers. Purge, how the hell are you? Uh-oh. I might have muted myself. All right, did you hear any of that, Purge? Or was I muted the entire time? Okay, good. All right, well, I did my intro, my spiel, if you will. How are you?
Radiant team pick.
All right, well, yeah, you don't have to sit through the entire intro. That I do the. You're like, all right, when are you gonna go? When is he gonna start? What's he throwing it to me? I'm just like, okay, what's up, dude? Jesus. All right, I actually wanted to talk to you about esports because I think everybody wants to hear about that before we do jump into this game. I was there watching almost every single one of your games. I had the pleasure to cast a lot as well.
10 seconds to pick.
I wanted to get your thoughts on the current state of, I guess, Dota, the qualifying teams, and how you felt about the qualifier in general, how you felt about your performance. Okay. You had a couple of really good games, though.
Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
Your bench game, I think earlier on in qualifier 2 was pretty outstanding, and you guys played really well. You get to the semifinals, right? Yeah, and you barely lost to X-Known. I mean, game number 2. Well, all right, you got crushed game number 1. That's fair. That's yes, yeah. I mean, still though, to get that far with these good teams, I mean, it's not like NASA Dota is completely devoid of talent in those open qualifiers. There's a lot of good teams there, and some of them not performing up to snuff. And well, Elite Wolves, they actually went down to Team Mischief or Team Freedom in the first qualifier. I thought they were going to lose in the second qualifier as well. I actually got really nervous for them. Like, there's no way you get to the grand finals twice and lose. Well, luckily, they do make it out here. And Elite Wolves was a team you did not get to play, but they looked pretty solid all the way through. Had you played up against them, there's a good chance. Well, there's a small chance that you maybe could have beaten them, but they looked good in that grand final game in games 2 and 3. So,
Radiance ban. Dire's ban. Ten seconds to pick.
Okay, that series in general between you and Owen was actually pretty fun to watch, especially that second game, which got a little hectic. Merlini had one of those rare bad games. I think he was one of the outstanding players the entire tournament for you guys. He played really well. Really enjoyed Chen as well as the Sand King. So, good stuff. Hope to see you guys again in the next major. But now we do have Digital Chaos and Elite Wolves going toe-to-toe. And I think most people would get Digital Chaos a very heavy favorite here. I don't know how heavy. I would go as far to say as 80-20. I think Elite Wolves are a good team. They've been a good team for a long time. And the addition of Sia has actually only made them stronger. But I think Digital Chaos here should have the advantage as they'll pick up the Invoker and Witch Doctor first. Uh-oh. What happened? All right, what just happened? What the hell was that? Dude, I went into the void. It was really weird. I don't know what just happened. We're on mine because Mundo 2 is already being taken by the European. Mott Dota 2. That's the one.
Team are now picking.
I had to edit too because this mock dodo was already taken, I think, or something. I don't remember what happened, but either way. All right. Well, anyways, I was talking about the odds between Elite Wolves and Digital Chaos. Hopefully, I'll stay in and not get timed out the rest of the time. But I was talking, I said, well, I think Digital Chaos will get maybe an 80. I said 80-20, and this is my odds. I don't know what the odds are, like Dota 2 Lounge or anything like that. But Elite Wolves are a good team. I don't know if they'll be able to take a game off of Digital Chaos, though, because Digital Chaos, I think, is probably one of the favorites here besides maybe Complexity
5
in this
seconds
qualifier.
remain. Reserve time. Dyer's turn to make all the wrong choices.
Yeah,
10
there's one
seconds
instance
to
where I
pick.
really enjoyed watching it was the game you guys lost in the first qualifier, the Bat Rider Darkster combo, which I thought was pretty damn good.
Radiant team
Go ahead and make sure your open mic is on. I do want to make sure that that's a thing because we are casting a majority of Dota 2 viewers, hopefully, or Dota TV viewers rather, and hopefully they can hear us just loud and clear. Elite Wolves will pick up the. That's right. Ancient Operations has been picked up for Elite Wolves, by the way, which is that's like one of those supports that have been picked up a ton. You played it all in the qualifier. In general, it's just a very strong hero, so. No surprises there. They also pick up the Earthshaker, which could be a
Only
smasher
10
off lane.
seconds.
So far, draft is pretty good for both squads. Bat Rider's picked up for Digital Chaos, like I
5
talked about.
seconds. Hurry,
Kind of concerned
hurry.
about that, but okay, that's not what I was expecting at
Dyer
all.
team pick. Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds remain. Reserve time.
Yeah, this is. Oh God.
Radiant's
What?
ban.
All right, that throws everything I've seen out the window. I can't remember the last time I've seen a Morphling, especially a Morphling carry, which I imagine is what this is going to be. Could be offlane Morphling, but I don't think it's very good anymore.
10 seconds to pick. Dyer's ban. Radiant's turn to royally screw it up.
And that's the thing. They do have an Invoker with EMP, and that's a Luna pick.
Dyer team are now
That's very
picking.
interesting. Somebody yesterday was saying how trash Luna is this patch. I think it was Jenkins. Jenkins was saying it. Yeah.
Only 10 seconds. 5 seconds remain.
Yeah.
Reserve time. 10 seconds to pick. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry.
I mean, Witch Doctor already has a lot of base damage, and you add that Oron, I think he actually hits for a decent amount. And you get a Bounty Hunter involved as well, and all of a sudden you've got easy kill potential. And you already have that with just the Luna and the Witch Doctor. You get a cast, you get a Lucid Beam off, a couple of right clicks, they're out of position. You get a kill or two. But we'll have to wait and see how this is. I mean, it's going to be a robot Bounty Hunter for sure for DC. So that's definitely something we should keep in mind. Ymar is going to be playing the Invoker, no surprise there. And it is going to be Evo, so it will be a farming Warflame. The Vengeful Spirit will be played by probably Sia. I'm very excited for this game.
10 seconds to pick. 5 seconds. Hurry, hurry!
Right. Oh, that's the... What the hell? Can't click on the mini-map. This is the problem.
Another thrilling match awaits us.
This is actually...
Left, but they're going
Yeah,
to
I might actually have to restart doing it. Dude, I don't know what's happening. I can't click on the minimap. That's kind of a big deal. I guess... Yeah, that's pretty miserable. Oh, God. I really don't want to have to restart Dota right now. That's like the last thing I want to do. I'm gonna miss a kill, I know it. Maybe I just restart the...
One of you has figured out that there are actually things in this world other than Dota. "30 seconds.
No. I stay paused for me, and it still doesn't work. Sick. How does... I'm dead.
Once again,
Digital Sports.
I knew they couldn't stay away.
Hold on a
Now
second.
all of a sudden you want back in? For goodness sake, make up your mind.
All right, we're in. It works. We did it. We did it, Purge. We're back in.
God, I really hope
And
this
we
match
didn't
ends
miss
up
anything.
being of any
I didn't miss
cosmic
anything. It was...
significance.
Just what the doctor ordered.
No. Sentry. Sentry's been placed down. He'll actually just kill it very quickly. Both of them die. They actually exchanged a tango for tango. So E.Wolves is roaming on mid. You talked about bottom lane. Pull is going to come out for 1437. Top lane, maybe some action and mobile. Magic Missile goes this. The Chilling Touch. Waveform comes to come out as well. It's been a long time since we've said that ability. He's going to Firefly over the creep, or over the river rather, and he'll be okay nonetheless. And yeah, it's just... I don't know, man. Yeah. It's gonna be close. They'll get the pull off. Nicely done. Bulma does have his Firefly up, but actually he's gonna get Magic Missile. They can go for a waveform here, but that would be diving the tower. Bulma would be fine. I'll take a couple of extra right clicks, so. They do have a Sentry here. They saw AUI 2000. They see him now, in fact. They have the vision to see. He's going to Shadow Walk again. He'll be right to Misoku. They won't go because they don't have the mana. They finally dust up. Hey, Mango, they'll pop the Magic Missile, and now AUI is in trouble. The waveform will fly through. That's your first blood. And just like that, they drop the Sentry down and get an easy kill on the roaming AUI 2000 bounty hunter.
First time for everything.
Invisibility.
Smash was playing the Batrider yesterday. He actually utilized this hard camp pretty well. He got a couple of stacks here and actually was able to get up to 1,000 gold plus his strength was pretty quickly. So I think Bubble might do the same. He'll actually try to Firefly and get a couple of kills here. If he can get the Structural Summer, that'll be huge. Two napalms. It will not Firefly, and he missed. Yeah, the CM missed the last right click on it. So they'll get some extra gold. This is too in depth for me, man. Yeah, he'll TP in. There's only a Centaur Conqueror here in this hard camp, so they'd have to use the small camp, which is up already if they need it. Meanwhile, mid lane, AUI 2000 will roam. He's level 2, so he actually is getting some experience. Meanwhile, mid, it's actually 12 to 13 in terms of CS. War's going for Exhort and Quas. It looks like he picks up the early point in Wex to get that Alacrity going. He's going to pop it off now and get some extra last hits with it. Down bottom, 17 last hits, 18 last hits for the Luna. She's only down by 1. So in terms of your safe lane farmers, both the Morphling as well as the Luna are doing a very good job. But you're committing less here as you only have 2 heroes on bottom. 2000 will roam in, but he's already been roaming mid. He hasn't gotten much done, but maybe they can get a kill on Smash. There's no Observer Ward here in the jungle or anything, so it's going to be kind of dangerous for him to walk up.
Hey, when you do your in-game mic, is it on party or team?
It's team. It's always your team.
Okay, I messed up. I did party.
I did that all the time too back at the beginning. I'm like, why do they have this? Why don't you feel like if it does one, it does both? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, either way, Smash is going to get Maledict. He's probably going to die here, actually. Last right click from AUI 2000. They get the kill for 1437 with the Maledict. He leveled up twice, by the way. So, we talked about yesterday also how Voodoo Restoration is very strong. What do you think about the Maledict build here for 1437 on the Witch Doctor?
Trying to zone a solo offlane, this build is far better because it's giving you what, it's actually a pretty good new.
Yeah.
It does 10 damage per second, I think is how it works. So basically with 2 level Maledict, he's doing 120 damage alone, not to mention he's amplifying other damage he's doing. So if you want to harass an offlane hero, it's so much better to Maledict to click 2 or 3 times than it is to go for stun and hit him 3 times. You're going to get way more damage out of it. And that second point of Maledict, combination of the Luna, if anyone's out of position and you can Maledict into Lucent Beam, like you can potentially kill somebody just with a level 3 Witch.
The top tier 1 tower will go. Going back to the Witch Doctor, what's the point where you get Voodoo Restoration? Like, what's the situation where you actually get that ability instead of the Maledict? If it's like maybe against Dulane, or if you know you're not going to get a kill?
If it's a scary offlaner, then yeah, you want to get Voodoo Restoration, or if you're in try versus try situation, a lot of cases Voodoo Restoration is far better, because you can swing tri lanes. But if you're against an Earthshaker, you're not going to die. There's no reason to get Voodoo this.
Looking for AUI. See, it walked up looking for a magic missile. He had dust, but they'd have to dive the tier 2 tower, and that's never a good idea. So AUI will actually reach a decent bit of experience. He's built through now. We'll get a last hit with a Shuriken toss, and then go back to work and try to get some last hits as well. Lane 29 last hits for the Quad. She's actually heading back home, as I don't think she could have gotten a rune. She could have waited until the 6-minute rune, but she's going back home to get a wand and I think a robe in the Magi. Meanwhile, you sitting on boots of speed. No might is picked up yet. Meanwhile, bottom lane, there's the Lucy. Do they have the Maledict? They already used it. Sunstrike will be on point. Well done from War. They get the kill. And Invoker gets some extra experience and gold going his way.
That's really nice for Invoker to get those Sunstrike kills, because it does give him the extra experience. And now he's slightly ahead of Queen of Pain. Still a little scary in this lane for him, because if there is a rotation, Invoker can easily die to the Quap ult plus Scream and maybe like Avenge. For now, he's going to be pretty happy getting that advantage.
Oh, this courier was getting chased down by the range creep, and it's actually, I've seen this happen before, where somebody will send the courier to the side camp or the side shop and buy something with it.
Dire's top tower.
They're kind of just baiting with this. AUI can kill this. He's gonna kill this. Yeah, Courier goes down. Digital Chaos AUI 2000 will pick up the kill. That's a lot of gold for him.
Such a big mistake.
Yeah.
It had already taken a bunch of damage, and then when he pressed the transfer, it must have been like the carry wasn't watching the courier, and the support was moving it, because he flew it over the next creep wave. Maybe he just didn't know the other creep wave was coming. That's entirely possible as well. That's a huge mistake there, that they let that get killed. Like, that's equivalent to a tower dying.
There's nothing on that courier, which I guess is the good thing.
TP, but
I mean, at this point though, that it could have been a bottle, it could have been an item for the carry, it could have been treads or something, boots of speed, something along those lines. So, I guess it could have been worse, but
getting set it up for bot lane.
Yeah,
No,
the
this is
bottom
gonna work though.
It's just gonna fly up.
TP, that's why.
Magic missile jumps into the Pain Sonic Wave, and it's a dead Luna blown up by Van. Well played, good rotation coming in.
Agony.
That was
Nicely played.
great. The nice thing was that they got Benj there with the smoke, and that way Quap had the only TP, and then her TP wasn't very long. So even though they had a really high up lane ward to scout for those kind of things, all they saw was the Quap TP coming. Good enough if it was just Quap and Earthshaker, but putting 3 heroes on that was a really, really nice organized gank there that made it very hard for DC to stop.
Stop Luna from farming, picks up the Helm of the Iron Will. No Helm of the Dynamo just yet. Has tread. They're looking for smash. Cast will fly. It's gonna bounce up. There's the Maledict. He's looking to hit him again. No, doesn't get that second bounce, and so they can't chase any further. He was banking on that second bounce. They didn't quite get it.
Pretty unfortunate there, because Luna there with a Lucian Beam, they might have been able to kill if he had forced to stick around.
So
Back to the passive laning.
Yeah.
On who? Boba?
Smash gets the Tranquils. Boba as almost a Blink Dagger. He's
How
been
did he get
jungling
that so fast?
Well, he's been jungling since AUI went top and took that tier 1 tower, so he's been jungling for like a good minute or so. I don't know how he did it.
So
I didn't
fast.
watch him, but yeah, it's a very fast Blink Dagger for this type of hero, especially since they changed the jungling of the Bat Rider. So
Maybe Invoker was stacking camps or something. The fact that he got a 8.5 minute Blink Dagger is ridiculously insane.
I kind of wish I
doesn't
saw.
have Bat Rider anymore.
No, it doesn't.
And because they had a bounty, he can pretty easily shift to an offlane role and make for the experience to be able to jungling. So DC, I'm sure, is they're in a good place right now. And with this blink, if they can get a kill on it, maybe for their Invoker, go for like a Sunstrike Cold Snap, like it would be really, really good for DC if Barrett can get this kill.
They might be able to gank Iwo. Well, we'll see if they decide to go for it. Probably not. They'll probably go mid, look for a Quap or Masoka pick up. We're probably going to see a smoke come out of Boba, though. I mean, this happens almost every time you get a Blink Dagger on a Bat Rider. That smoke followed by a Blink initiation is going to fly. We have to see what target they're going to go for. Like you talked about, maybe get the Invoker involved, as he does have a Sunstrike queued up. His Alacrity's there, but they're going to see Van, maybe. I think, yeah, they see him. Will they go on it? Chuck is going to go through. They get the cask off Sunstrike. They're going to try to bring him back, and they will. And Van snapped up, and he's done so. And Bubble will get the kill. Already, again, almost every time the smoke Blink Dagger comes out, you will get kill. And it is the same here for Bulba at 9.5 minutes. 3-2 the score, and a big pickup is that.
Biggest thing that you can see about these teams, how good they are, is how reliable their ganks are. It's not necessarily about the fact that they got the kill, it's how they approach it and how they anticipate getting their gank off. They're doing it in very smart ways. They're utilizing exactly how many heroes they need, and everybody's executing. That is really the difference that takes you from a team that is doing okay in the qualifiers to be.
So a good start for DC. They actually have not big net worth advantage, about 1,000. So still very close. The biggest thing I think is Iwo is up here in the top lane. He's going for what seems to be like, he picks up the Ring of Hell. He's already gotten the Keela and Shreds and Dewan, so he's already got all those early game items. He does a decent amount of damage, about 100 or something. He picks up the Perseverance now, and so he's doing fairly well for himself. We'll go back top, pop the replicate onto Bulba. And then we have a smoke gank here from Van and Sia.
I guess they're mid.
This is maybe a dead
Only
Invoker.
2 heroes. They do have 3 levels of stun, so we'll be a lot. Oh, yes, that's less as well.
Scream Fan Sonic Wave. He's going to Ghost Walk, and the Wave of Terror, that should be enough. It does come through, it does catch. The last right click to get the Maledict off. It's a lot of damage on this. The cast still bouncing. Is he dead? Yes, goes down to the tower hit. Wow. What a cast. What a turnaround from 1437.
Yeah, that was great from him. It looked a little bit dangerous from his perspective.
It is dangerous. There's a double damage on Van. Last right click can get there in time. He's got enough mana to scream now too. He gets the vision. They get the kill. That Observer Ward there, I think, maybe just caught him.
It's actually so scary. I keep forgetting this exists. D-ward or ward for this, like, the entire qualifiers that I've played, even though we're on raid every game. Like, you just forget about it. That one's so new.
God, Bounty just got obliterated. They just got 3 kills. That was a great turnaround from E.Wolves. They get like 4 heroes mid. TC is farming bottom, but now see where rotates in. That was actually, I think, all 5 heroes mid for E.Wolves, and they get the tier 1 tower off that. That's a lot of gold. It was 1,500 net worth lead for DC. Now it's back down to even. Pretty good couple of moments there coming out for E.Wolves.
Can still be able to catch it. They can catch up. They've got tracks, so the wards are looking pretty darn good for Elite Wolves, though. Like, they've already got the tier 1 mid, they got tier 1 top. The next pressure is definitely to be in their jungle bottom, like where you circled. That is where Elite Wolves are. You have to DC that from happening, or preferably get kills of their own using things like Bat Lasso. And it looks like they're smoking, and they are.
Looking for top. Ewo is going to be the target. He's already backing up, though. He seems to know something's amiss. They have really good vision, and they only see, I think, maybe 1 hero on the map currently. That is, of course, TC in the jungle. He's got the Helm of the Dominator. There's going to be a rotation bottom with Smash. No Smoke of Deceit, though. They're looking maybe to put pressure on this tier 1 tower. And this smoke coming out from DC, I don't think it's going to accomplish anything. Maybe they get the tier 1 tower top. That's it.
They're anticipating the Rider smoke movement at this stage in the game, so On the bright side, they will get some observer wards down in the enemy jungle, which allows them to be aggressive against their opponents.
Middle tower is
They're going to
They
see
might actually
E.Wolves here
spawn
in a
more.
second. Yeah, they saw Morphling. They know where he's
tower
now.
under fire.
They have to get in position to go on him, though. The Bat Rider's not really ready. He's kind of far back, as you can see. Bulba's
Right,
maybe
they see-
waiting for somebody else.
Bulba's. Oh, he is there.
How is he going to go in? Blasto's going to fly through. The Replicate is up. He's going to send it back home. The track will fly through. Replicate's out, and they just don't have the damage to deal with this Morphling right now. Mass CP, they'll get a Fisher on it too. No blink to smash, though, so you can't jump in an Echo. And meanwhile, bottom lane, while this is happening, Wolves will grab the last tier in tower for Digital Chaos. This Glyph is going to go.
Is now
Dan's gonna go to work.
bottom tower is being attacked.
Yeah, their rotation doesn't work out. They need the third hero to be there that has damage or stun, and they needed somebody to nuke down Replicate as well because it gave them a free get out of jail free card. So maybe they should have focused a bit more, but it was just a very difficult. And basically, DC has now wasted their rotation, whereas Elite Wolves got advantage out of there. So DC's put on the back foot again, and they wasted their lasso, so they can't really gank very well for a bit.
This Luna is going to have to put some work here. Morphling's already having a good time. Luna's a little bit further behind. They do have track, like you mentioned. That is one catch-up mechanic that they've got. They have the Bat Lasso, but they haven't quite been able to get a second kill with it since they got that first pick off. Now there's a couple heroes bottom looking for a flip push out of this tier 2 down bottom. Mid lane is getting pressured by Ewo as well. The Euless has been picked up by UR. He's going to get Ice Blasted off the pop the Alacrity. Takes the tier 1
I know
tower.
TPs are coming.
Yeah, they're going to try to defend this tier 2 tower down bottom. Everyone is here for Elite Wolves. Invoker, is he going to TP in? He's got one and ready to go. The cast will fly. Good Fisher to come out. Cast will bounce up a little bit, but they might just back out of this. They won't take the tier 2.
Tower is being attacked.
That's going to be that.
Yeah, they saw the TPs with the AX blast, so they knew that they had to be a little bit careful. Nobody ends up getting caught here, and Elite Wolves gets a bit more advantage.
Where do you go from here? Like, there's so much vision for the Dire side and the Dire jungle. They can maybe think about roshing at some point. Maybe they're not big enough yet. I'm not sure.
Elite Wolves can't rush very easily. DC can do it better due to having Lunar Aura, so what's more likely is that Elite Wolves try to get pickoffs. I mean, DC basically just plays in between Blastos, right? Once they have Blasto, they go for a kill. So they just have to fight where the wards aren't, and they can pretty safely assume, even if they de-ward all the wards, they can pretty safely assume that there is a lot of vision in their jungle. The big problem for that is going to come from Luna farming, because she may get ganked with this farming such as this.
Which is, yeah, right now, essentially. Smoke, they could have went in on that. They had an observer board. They didn't know where the rest of the squad was for DC. They thought, okay, maybe the Luna is actually getting baited here, and they might be behind her, but that's not actually the case. She's farming the medium camp right now, and they went out of there. They would have gotten the kill for sure. So they decided against it. I don't know. There's also probably a mech coming up for the bounty hunter too. Maybe they wait for that before they fight. Like you said, playing passive until they have either they want to use their lasso, or they wait for the force staff, or they wait for the mech. One of those things.
Yeah, any of those are going to give them a big advantage. The mech's definitely very nice. They've got a good team fight lineup. They've got Invoker, they have Witch Doctor, and they have Luna. That's 3 heroes that are amazing at team fight. And the Bounty and the Bat are just going to help you initiate and help give you a little bit more damage on top. They're ready to go, but they don't want to take a bad fight. They just need to take good fights. And if they do that, DC is going to absolutely win this game. And if the fights don't go really well in the early game, then it could get scary. I mean, a long time until more strong, basically. So they don't have to force.
The thing is, there's also going to be a fight being you try to lasso the Morphling's going to have that Lincoln Sphere here moment, and that's just not a great idea. You can maybe break it with the Force Staff, but I don't think that's really the best. And there's also a Quap Agonums too, which is fairly early on. No usage of that Orca Malevolence. You didn't decide to buy it this game, so goes for the Ags. Lots of early game damage. Did she miss skill? I think she did. That's really huge, actually.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of pure damage. It's not like a game loser or anything, but 115 pure is pretty big.
Oh. No Sunstrike for you, you are. He's actually doing a good job still pushing top lane. He's got the Alacrity and his level 2 Forge Spirits, or at least 2 Forge Spirits anyways. And he's like, well, I'll probably just split push. You guys can take that tier 2 tower. The Blast, I think, is coming through. Should hit on him? No, it's super back.
They see that? That was actually a big mistake for AA to let that. Now DC knows that it's on cooldown for 35 seconds.
That was daytime. They should have had vision of that, right? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, he should have seen that, yes. He at the very least hear it, so he knows that he can fairly safely hit the tower. He has to worry about our enemies like showing up, but I think DC is going to want to take possibly, or at least try to take tower.
They're back.
Spot rotations.
They do
it's still a little high.
The Quap, I think, is going to rotate. They'll see that much. They will see Morphling as well. Sonic Wave will clear up that creep wave. All right.
These 3 heroes in the Radiant jungle, they've just been hiding there for so long that DC doesn't feel comfortable. That's basically what it comes down to. They don't know where these guys are. They haven't seen the Earthshaker, they haven't seen the Venge, and they haven't seen the A in a very long time. But I like that E.Wolves is sitting just because it makes DC be forced to play safer, but also because it means that it can't just AFK farm where she gets a lot of experience.
And she's starting to lag behind in worth only having that Helmet of the Dom. Speaking of getting yanked, 1437 is going to get caught out. Cold Feet, Ice Blast, not even really needed. Jump in, Van actually could have helped get that kill, but they pop out a couple of abilities, they get the grab. Masuku will be the one to get it done. Top lane, this tier 2 tower still all dead. It's in deny range now. Last couple of right clicks and they will get the deny from Van, and the Force Spirits can't do enough. The rotation on the backside, AUI doesn't got the courier kill. He'll TP out. So at least there's that going for them. Smoke up DC and Olbo. They'll try to float. They're going to find Evo, but it's not the target. He has a Lincoln Sphere, so they'll just back up, dodge Adaptive Strike, and get out. If they had found anybody else, it would have been fine. There's also a lot of heroes. Meanwhile, Smash did pick up the Blink Dagger, I do want to point out. And I think they're doing fairly well for themselves. But surprisingly, DC actually has 1,000 net worth lead for
Yeah, they actually wanted, in some ways, 1437 to get ganked there. I think the reason they farmed in there is because that's the lowest net worth on their team, basically, that can't get there very much done with low vision. So if he farms the lane and he gets ganked, okay, he dies. But then what did they do immediately afterwards? And he says, oh, there's 3 heroes bottom. Push really hard. Yeah, they got the tower denied, but they killed it now. So there's one less sentry on the map, bounty hunter to worry about, basically. So they get advantage out of that. And then in the meantime, AUI snipes a courier. Like, that advantage was actually great.
Oh, they have a gem. They see AUI. He's dead. Did he see the gem is the question. He almost got the track off. They would have seen it for sure at that point. Very good early gem picked up. You mentioned how there's one less sentry with that tier 2 tower. I think that's pretty impressive or pretty cool that you mentioned that. But the gem still comes out in Ancient Apparition. It's like, it doesn't really matter. If I'm near you, you're going to die. So,
yeah,
nice
they're
play
handling
for
this game really well. The early gem pickup, it's scary to do so, but they definitely have map control advantage and they have more gank opportunities. DC, who's pretty focused on using Invoke.
Ooh. Good replicate out. Ewo was getting ganked and he'll take a Maledict. There's a range creep in the Grosh pit. It'll get killed very quickly here. And Elite Wolves are going to maybe thinking about going in there or actually looking for a kill. Yuar's down bottom. His Negative Scepter is flying out now, but it gets killed. This courier is going way too far and it's going to run right over this Observer Ward. It's actually going to back away. And that's a sentry getting taken down as well. They did get out Yuar, so that's fine. But double damage rune here at the bottom rune spot. They'll send a Forge Spirit in, but it looks like Elite will not be denied this Roshan.
Well, good for them. They're going to take it quite easily. Interesting Venge build. He's going for a mech. Arcane plus mech. So that'll be kind of nice. Nobody else is going to build it on their team, so cool to see a support building it. But the fact that he's even been able to get this at a reasonable time while playing a 5 position is pretty amazing.
This Venge has done a lot of work this game. 5 assists, only 1 death to her name, so Sia has had a great game. And Sia has played very well throughout the entire set of qualifiers, both of them. He did a great job in the majority of games, and they did lose up against Team Mission, but that wasn't really his fault. That was them getting run at by an Abaddon and a couple of other very strong heroes. And so, and they're showing that they're not any scrubs. Like, this is almost the same squad we used to see way back in the day with Arctic Gaming. You know, they changed out Van and Mihawk. They changed out Siestico. This is still a very good team. Evo's been on a ton of teams down in South America. He's been on Union Gaming at one point, but really he's just trying to play with his brother, and that he's been playing for with forever. So Smash, of course, he's changed to the offlane role, which I think has suited him very well. And Van has had an impressive mid lane display. I've even seen him use spend mid, and it's actually worked to great avail. Of course, we're on it. But now they're gonna head into Roche, and Elite Wolves will pick up an Aegis more than they'll pick up for Ewo. He grabs it. Van has got an ultimate orb looking for probably a Hex. Still, the tier 3 tower is going to get pressured while they are on the Roche pit, or at least it'll be a creep wave up there.
The only thing I'm not a big advantage of, or a fan of for Venge, is that he doesn't have 1 point of Vengeance Aura. I think getting at least 1 point is worth it, not only for the damage reduction on your opponents when you die, but also because 1 point of Vengeance Aura is equivalent to like 2 points of minus armor. So I feel like getting at least 1 Vengeance Aura is going to be worth it.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. I agree with you. You rarely see that. Let's see. Mechanism only been purchased in about 3.4% of professional Spirit games, over 3.5k games. So it's very odd that you see that item. Thank you, Cart, for that statistic. Speaking of mech, AUI 2000 doesn't have one. He went for the urn. I thought he was going to get maybe a headdress or a buckler or something along those lines, but he's not picked it up. And so the mech advantage is going in Elite Wolf's favor at this point.
a little scary for DC then. They do have a BKB up on Luna though, so they have some advantage there, and Yoar's quite farmed. Having an Aghanim Scepter is fantastic. He's going to be able to cast a lot during the team fight, so I think the fights are going to be okay for DC. Not that scary at the moment. Mackie is going to be an advantage, but I don't think it's going to be everything, because killing their heroes is already pretty tough. If you go on Morphling, for example, they've got enough burst damage with Eclipse, where I really feel like they can actually deal with Elite Wolves, so the mech isn't a big deal.
AUI's gonna get jumped on. There's Mr. Ice Blast, and they just no, they saw him. He walked up here.
No, man, that was a guess. On,
are you sure?
They saw him here. Yeah. And they blinked. Like the gem was on the AA. They didn't actually see him.
They didn't see him at the end. All right,
actually, just like, that was amazing.
Smash just didn't get that Fisher down perfectly. That was an impressive block. Even if it was a guess, it's even more impressive. And that will facilitate them taking this tier tower down in the mid lane. They've played very impressively. Smash on the Surfshaker's done a great job. Top lane is pushing in. I'm very concerned that this Luna is not that farm. She does have the BKB, but a lot of the times for a Luna, you'll see an early Yasha, but this game, she really can't go for that. He's only died once. That was early on in the game, but TC's still not able to really... There's that point, it's like you talked about, down to the bottom jungle where he couldn't farm effectively. So he's been farming this hard camp up here, which is being currently farmed by Van, and the ancient stack as well. So that's all TC had to farm. And I will say he's caught up nicely. He's actually ahead of the Morphling. He's right next to him in terms of net worth. I don't know, man. I am a bit worried about DC's team fight. I feel like Elite are very strong right now. They have a Blink of the Earthshaker. They have a Quap with an Aghanim Scepter. And going for a Lincoln Spear as well. So she can't get last. So she can put it on somebody else on top of that. This is a bit disconcerting for DC. And Elite Wolves are playing extraordinarily well. This is Observer Ward here, though, by the way.
I think they're alright. The BK is going to do a lot versus Elite Wolves. They still do have to worry about swap and AI Blast affecting, removing her lifesteal, making that if she does go low enough, she just dies. So they've got some tools here, but I think DC also has them. But I think Elite Wolves is definitely playing this game a bit better. Like Bounty Hunter's just been ineffective. Right. They obviously have a big vision advantage. Got some really good items on a couple core heroes as well. Like you said, Lincoln Spear is going to make it hard for more. They can break his Lincoln quite easily with track. They've got a good solution to it. That's why Morphling is going to be farming pretty hardcore and releases E-Blade.
Yeah, and then that's going to be, oh god. AEY is already dying quickly. I mean, there's some squishy heroes in the squad. Even Invoker is not that tanky. With the axe, he gets a bit more HP, but we'll see. They're looking to be, I think they smoked up and they ran bottom. They're sitting in the tree line waiting for anybody to just push this wave out. But instead, top lane is going to be where it's at. It's going to go, and Bubba's going to force himself away. He actually doesn't trust himself fighting against Evo at this point. He does a lot of damage if roamed free. They're going to get to this tier 2 tower.
Pushing lanes right now is really important because if they have a gem advantage over you, you don't have very much vision. And by pushing your waves out, you know about where your opponents can or can't. Your lanes are really pushed out. It makes up for that lack of observable vision.
Man, this is a really low kill score game. 4-8 at 25 minutes in. Is this really NA Dota? Because it doesn't seem like it for God days.
Well, I think Elite Wolves doesn't play YOLO like maybe some of the other squads do. So I'm not too surprised about it. Like both teams are playing very organized, smart Dota, I think.
They were pretty aggressive against a couple of the squads they played against the qualifiers, but you're right. More often than not, you won't see them running at the opposite team. They'll play more passively. Try to get the farm up like they are. And I guess you have to do that when you have a Morphling. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you can't go for all in your plays. Farm it slowly until it's to a point where it's one of the areas due to the ways that his abilities work. Like he's level 14 now. He just finished maxing out Adaptive Strike, for God's sake. It actually takes a long time for Morphling to be ready to fight.
Yeah, and that's the inherent advantage TC on the Luna has. I mean, you're always going to farm faster. Well, maybe not always. Yeah, waveform is pretty good.
Will. No, you've got Lunar Blessing, gives you damage bonus, and you have Glaives. It's kind of like you have a...
Yeah, but I don't want to make... I want to make it seem like that Morphling can't farm, because if you have a Lincoln Sphere, you have really good mana regeneration, you can waveform just about every creep camp and wave. Not that that's faster than the Glaives that the Luna has.
Yeah, the advantage is nuking a wave while also moving to the next one. That's where you get the most waveform advantage. Yeah. In terms of farming potential. It gives you some, but it's just not Luna. Luna would be even faster if she didn't have to go BKB first. Really not a very good damage.
She hasn't used it either. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was talking about earlier. Yasha picked up first is generally what you'll see, but TZ just did not feel safe for this game in doing so. He'll probably pick up his Manta next. I mean, I'd be very surprised if he bought anything else. But he already has his BKB. Maybe when you have your Manta, you can start fighting a bit more aggressively. Then you get your Butterfly Satanic, one of those things. And there is that E-Blade though, and this is where it gets a bit tricky coming out for DD. Like this is a lot of damage, not only with your shotgun, but your right click as well is very strong now.
It gives him a really good tool. He can also use it to save people if they're just by death ward or something. But more likely, he's just going to love killing with Doctor repeatedly, or maybe even Batrider.
Yeah, 40-37 is not going to have a great game. I think also at 2000, if he gets caught, he's pretty much dead as well. Doesn't HP the Idaho. Yeah. I think a full combo.
He can go invis to run away, and Morph doesn't have detection, so I guess that's one solution there. But going to go Force first, and that's really what they need, because that way if Batrider grabs somebody and has to use Force to break it, that AUI can be there to force Batrider afterwards to guarantee a kill.
Alright, man. I mean, this has been one of the lowest kill total games I've seen in a long time, but I think it's going to come to a head soon. TC's almost done with his Manta style, picks up the full ultimate orb, so he only needs the Yasha as well as the recipe. He's got enough money for the Yasha here in a moment. Top lane, Fort Spirits are going to go to work. Bulba's going to go ahead and split push. He's looking for what seems to be a BKB, which you pretty much need. Is the combo of IWO, so we'll see if he decides to finish that off. Meanwhile, mid lane, TC is for 40-37. He's dead. One more right click and 40-37. The Voodoo Restoration keeping him up, but E.Wolves will get the kill. So it doesn't, the full combo will bring 40-37 down, but it's like the full combo plus one right click will do the job.
You got a cloak right there, so that's why it didn't do that much damage. It was the other hero who said,
Echo misses. Sure, TC in trouble. Sonic is gonna fly. Can't get the BKB off. He does have buyback, but what a turn. The E.Wolves finally get the kill, and maybe they can now try to breach the base, breach high ground here, and go for this tier 3 tower purge.
Man, they've been playing so safe, and it finally pays off for them. They get a kill in the mid lane when Morphling's finally gotten his item, and the other 4 heroes constantly hunting TC, making the game so difficult for him, and they finally get an easy kill.
They're going to have to go back home because this tier 3 is getting pushed. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. Maybe they get the tier 3 and back up to the top lane. The Fort Spirits are sitting up there as well. They're not even moving. Fort Spirits going back to the tower. You are, Micro, please. Oh, here's the tornado. He gets it onto 2. Meatball will fly. Deputy last. IWO doesn't have them Aegis anymore. Bulba's going to find the lasso on to Sia. They're going to bring him back in. It's time to back now. They're looking for more. You can see it. TC bought back. He's looking. He doesn't want this for to be for nothing. And Misoku will fall. Fisher comes out. Good E.Wolves from Yara. Still chasing. They get the ice wall down. Smash. He's going to get close. Step 10. Not TP. Sonic Wave comes through. Doesn't do the damage now. The Death Ward flies out. They get the double for Yara. TC. The buyback doesn't get him that much gold, but it keeps their tier 3 alive, and they get 3 kills out of it.
And it's not just about him there. Like, okay, you had to buy back, but you gave your allies a lot of track gold there. Sure, Bounty got a stupid amount of gold from that. That was at least 2. That was like at least 2 or 3 track kills. He just forced got an extra 7.
Right, exactly.
Like they're totally happy to trade 1 buyback to get 2.
Dude, if Roche was up now too, could you imagine DC would just run mid, but it's a full duration Roche respawn? How miserable.
Nah, they wouldn't be able to Roche in this time. Everybody is up in like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
There's a tower right by. They're against an AA and an Ursh. Way too dangerous to go for.
He didn't have X-Slam anymore though.
It's still like good, you get fissured into ice blasted, you get fissured into Quap ultied. Like it's way too dangerous to go for. They're gonna be happy getting those couple of kills. They got some track gold and they can get.
Yeah, they were getting that map control. They're dropping up a couple of Azure rewards. Did they get the gem back?
Right?
Yeah, they must have. They killed Misoku. Yeah, but Bulba has it now. Bulba's got the gem.
That right there is big. Like, look at the map now. It's pretty much all that advantage that E.Wolves had is in a lot of ways gone due to them losing. Now Bounty can roam around the map. Now that they don't have to worry about putting like really obscure wards that are hard to see, they can put their wards in good places. They can try to get map control, and they can try to get their lassos off of that.
AUI's free, man. He can finally roam without, fearing death. There's a courier here. Is he going to get it? Yes! And he's going to TP out as well. Again, the 3rd time that they will get the courier this game, and AUI 2000 has done it all 3 times.
That's why you put that observer there. Look at the vision. It covers basically, I don't know, 30% of where the courier could leaving base. So you're going to see the courier when it leaves, and then you're going to get those snipes.
E.Wolves went for a combo onto DC. The shotgun didn't do enough damage, and now he replicates out. And he would have forced that BKB, I'm sure. That's not the case. It didn't actually happen. Aether Lance was picked up, I think, a second ago. Or am I losing it? I'm probably losing it. Yeah, I'm losing it. Also, another gem's been picked up from Misoku, so he's going to have that ready to go.
That's good. They definitely are going to need it, but now that they don't have the guaranteed ward advantage, if both teams have a gem, it's the same as one team having a gem. Now that both teams have the gem, then it becomes like a little game of chess where you move around the map together and try to de-ward wards and get kills on them.
Two BKBs are about to come out. Yuwar's going to have his momentarily, and Wilbur just picked up his as well. Roche is up pretty soon here, within the next second or so. It's about to respawn. There it is. They'll send it to replicate. They see the range creep here, so it's a thing. Do you contest this if you're DC?
They just need to keep their eyes on it and make sure Elite Wolves doesn't go.
Okay.
Unless Elite Wolves gets to DD, I don't think they can take it that rapidly. I guess, do they have a medallion?
No, I don't think either team has a medallion in this game.
They have a wave of terror, so they can kill it fairly fast, but with a medallion, it would be really fast.
Oh, shotgun.
Oh, Bulma messed up.
No wave for him. That should have been a kill. He actually misses. He's going to replicate out, though. That's so hard to deal with. That's the good thing about Morphling, is that you can't lock him down if he's got that Lincoln Spear. You have to be very careful with how you use your abilities, and pretty much has to be in a team fight is how you kill him, because he just replicates out if he has it up and ready.
Yeah, and Batrider should have blink dodged the Evil Blade, but he didn't have vision up, so very natural that sometimes you're not going to. They immediately smoke, burn up, and they're going for a fight.
They're going to check Roche quickly. Are they just going to go for this? Because everyone's back at the base. They saw this ward. This ward's got like 2 or 3 heroes going back to the base for Elite Wolves. And they're in the pit. They're going for it, man. It's time for DC. They said no more hiding. We're going to get this Aegis, goddammit. Will it be in time, though?
Black Man Luna so much. Here comes the Ice Blast, though.
Yeah, Ice Blast is going to sail in. Echo Slam might come next. Smash isn't quite there yet. He's getting close. They're going to BKB jump in. Echo Slam goes. Wait for a minute as well. There's the Eclipse coming out. Smash tries to TP out. Won't make it away. Z is in trouble. Look at it, damage. Shot Equip. Not enough. Luna, but they don't get the Rose kill. 2 dead. Now AUI getting cut out, but the cold step flies through. They're in trouble. Doesn't have a BKB. The EMP about to fly up, but here comes E.Wolves looking for free. Lucifer fly up. There's going to be the Aegis. Now they have to leave. DC are 2 low, and there's going to be 2 kills quickly for Van. No, the Ghost Walk comes out. They keep up Yawar. He's somehow alive. Still. Stick fight. Looks like it was a 3 for 2 in the end. Lots of BKBs used on the Radiant side. They did get the Aegis, but Luna has to back out with that gone.
Yeah, and Elite Wolves were the ones that killed Roche. Got the gold advantage there. I thought it looked like a great team fight for DC, but when all is said and done, it was a 2 for 2 trade, and they lost to Aegis. So not bad for DC. Maybe a little scary for them to go for that, but as a whole, it worked out nice. The game's still pretty much even.
That was very close to being disastrous for Digital Chaos.
Yeah, their BKBs were like just at the right moment. They must have seen the smoke pop on Earthshaker or something like that. That's why Luna was standing in front of the Rider. Some hero was, I think it was Batrider, because they wanted to see the smokes pop before they initiate. Because if they sit far to the left of the camp, they get initiated on instantly and they can't react. So that was Bulba's nice play that breaks the smoke, that allows both Invoker and Luna to not initiate it on and they get stuck in that.
Yeah, and both of them were able to get a couple of kills, and like you said, they didn't get the Roche kill, which is pretty disastrous, but other than that, I think they had an okay fight at the beginning. It's just they're too squishy on the rest of their heroes also.
I mean, I think they're just happy that Roche is dead now. Like, that's a really big relief for them. They don't have to worry about the enemy team stealing Roche. Now they can just play Dota at this point. So when you have to play around Roche pit, you have to have wards over there, and you have to worry about initiations and all this stuff, and it just becomes a pain in the butt. So having Roche just be gone is nice. Now they can focus on getting Batrider killed. They're going to try.
They're going to go 5-man smoke, but everyone is sitting back of this. Elite Wolves know there's something happening here. Smart play coming out from them.
Ward down in the meantime. Mech Recipe is going to be an extra bounty hunter, so he will translate back into Mech. Maybe another reason why they didn't buy it, because whoever gets initiated on would have got an Ice Blast in the early game. It's really worth rushing the Mech? Maybe not.
That's fair.
They also got a D-ward on the Observe ward in the river, so it's very little ward vision for Elite Wolves.
Yep, it's pretty much all gone, right? They don't have any ward up besides this one here in their own jungle at the entrance of the jungle. Jump in, Tornado, will find Van with the Chaos Meteor as well, deafening blast, but there's no way he can lock him down with that quote because the Lincoln Sphere was up and ready to go.
This Observer ward spotting them out though. They don't have the gem on the side.
Lincoln Sphere is going to fly. There's going to be Lucid Beam Ancient. Ice Blast misses. There's the Fisher looking for an Echo Slam. They've got it. BKB Bubble looking for somebody. Can't find it. Has to force himself out. Now he's taking right click. Lincoln Sphere will get popped. Bubble still has that last if he wants to go for it. He can now. Decides against it. Still trying to back out. He will pick up his own BKB. You are hexed up as well, but they can't
what
chase.
An ice
ball owned. Oh my god.
That's Jesus. BKBs for Batrider, for Bling, and I think that's it.
Yeah,
Luna
I believe you're
not
right.
Use her BKB, so not bad there for DC. Nothing much happened, but might still go on him. I love this alacrity on Luna. It's 115 damage and 70 attack speed right now. It's so good.
Yeah, it pretty much makes you function like having a butterfly, some other item at this point. She hits like a truck.
I like the Morphling stealing the illusion of it though. Very, very strong illusion.
Yes. Glaives. Definitely helpful.
I feel like TC definitely built Butterfly next to give him that advantage against Morphling, and not to mention make the rest of the enemy heroes' attacks be a little weak. Butterfly is definitely the way to go, I believe.
Yeah. He'll get that Satanic later on down the road. He'll probably pick up that Eagle song sooner rather than later when he gets the money for it.
Yeah, it'll be very late, I think, where he gets item that you just...
Satanic.
Yeah, because he might not want to deal against the AI splash. That's going to be the biggest issue. If anything, he might even have to go MKB first, because Morphling also might just build a Butterfly. Not only does it make his E-Blade better, but it also helps him against the Luna. So I think Luna's going to have to go Butterfly into MKB, to be honest.
That sounds fair. That's a lot of damage. You get into team fight, they alacrity that guy. Holy crap! How are you supposed to deal with that damage?
They knew that there was a hero over in the trees there.
They saw Lincoln's got popped.
Well, I think that what they saw was that the cask bounced from here. They're like, okay, obviously there's no creep staying over in the trees.
Yeah, that's fair. Creep waves getting pushed in. They really want this tier 3 tower down. It's only at 90 HP, so...
Oh, they might go in?
Jump in. Echo Slam flies. Ancient Emperor's gonna flies, but they pop the BKB just in time. Now they're looking for Alexa. They're gonna find it over the smash. They get the Lucid Beam off, and this is a dead Earthshaker. So they use the BKB, and they lose Smash in the process. Pretty good kill coming out for DC. They were ready to go. It was kind of a nice bait there.
I just can't believe that Earthshaker went for the fissure first in that situation. I was like, okay, he's gonna blink Echo, right? He blinked fissures. I'm not quite sure why, because Echo is an instinct mask, so he could have just Echo fissured and with the same value, more or less. A little bit of a weird initiation there, and E.Wolves wasn't ready to follow up on it, despite they getting a good stun on Luna.
What do you think is Van's next item, by the way? He's warped 3k gold. We haven't talked a lot about him, but he's farmed.
You can almost justify a refresher at this point, honestly, because it'll refresh your Lincoln Sphere, I think, your Side of the Vice, and you'll get 2 ultis. And he's gotten 3 big mana items, so he can definitely... Well, refresher puts your Sonic Wave at 1,000 mana, plus refresher is about 1,400. It might be worth doing something like a refresher. If not, he could go maybe Shiva's Guard.
What do you think about Octarine? Is that like
that's also a pretty good choice. It's not bad, but it doesn't put the cooldowns that low.
We'll have to wait and see.
Down to 25 seconds. Such a low cooldown.
Yeah, it is. It did nerf it though. Like I think the movement speed was nerfed a while ago, and I think the duration was nerfed a little bit. I'm not sure about that.
Oh,
so.
For when you get hexed. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
You're right about that.
Top lane, E.Wolves was pushing that tier 3 tower. He'll go ahead and wait for him and try it. He has
they might catch TC. He's in trouble.
Fisher comes through. He'd swap back. This is not the time for him to die. He will have buyback. He pops the BKB. He's gonna go ahead and use his Eclipse. He has some meds, but doesn't do enough damage. Smash almost went down there. They caught him, and he's dead for 80 seconds. This is the time to push. He'd have to force him out. He was pretty close to his Butterfly as well, and this is all of a sudden a huge problem for DC.
Yeah, it was a great Ice Blast there by the Ancient Apparition. It scouted them out and allowed them to go for the Blink to interrupt the TP.
The item, by the way, for Van was Assault Cuirass, which I completely forgot about.
It's a nice item for Queen of Pain to transition. Obviously, Shiva's does give her damage because it's int item, but if you get the AC, it helps right-click more. You become more of a right-click carry. It's very nice for that reason. I'm
a fan of it because the Luna's gonna have a lot of armor pretty soon as well when she picks up the Butterfly. I mean, she already has a lot in 21 armor even when she's dead. Armor-wise, Yuar only has 9, so they can shoot through a lot of these heroes, and of course the towers. I mean, getting the push is pretty nice. There is the Aghanim Scepter for 1437. It's a little bit late, but it might be enough in this game to hold them off, and God, they do not want to buy back in the Luna right now. It's 30 seconds before she respawns. They probably lose the tier 3 tower, but they do have a glyph. Meanwhile, mid lane already going to work as Van on this tier 3 tower. They're going to lose the bottom tier 3. They have to choose what they want to defend if they're going to buy back. 15 seconds. They'll all rotate down. E.Wolves looking to push into the base. They have Sonic Wave in 15. E.Wolves just chunking down this range racks. They pop up the Lincoln Sphere, and TC's up in 5. They're going to lose the range at the very least, I believe. TC's about to back, and they might lose a full set of racks. Tornado will fly through, hits onto 3. Meteor. This is going to be the Deafening Blast. They pop the BKB for E.Wolves. He's got the replicate out. Looking for Yuar. Last spot. See, they're going to force him back in just a moment if he has it. No, the Lucid Beam will fly. Now,
TC got
in trouble. Now, TC in trouble. He can't afford that. Pops the BKB in the mid style. Swap back out. But Sia can't find the kill, and he'll fall. They'll back away. They'll lose the range racks. Can they get more? Bubba on the chase. No flame break for 3. Still chasing him down. Pocket Bell coming in. He does have to. He's got the Ghost Walker in the hold step as well. Smash will fall. So will Masoku. 3 dead. They'll lose their range racks. They keep TC up. Sunstrike will fly. See you later. Double kill coming up for Yuar. E was going to push top lane while this is all happening, but TC will clear this out very quickly.
Yeah, War's playing really well. He's thinking ahead, like a step ahead of everybody in this fight. Every time the Morphling goes for waveform, he shields himself, and then Morphling way out of position. So yeah, Morphling didn't die there, but it also made the carry's damage do nothing for like 5 seconds, which means the rest of DC can just run at the enemies. And the fact that TC lived was massive there for DC. Died there, it would have forced him to buy back. He didn't buy back. He did not buy back.
He did not buy back.
He may have been forced to buy back there and been further behind on items. He's kind of trailing behind a bit because he hasn't really gotten any kills or been in that many fights.
Mid lane, Sonic Wave, 1437 trouble. They get the deafening blast. Bandit trouble, close step will fly through. Van might fall here. Can't blink out. Stunlocked forever. He's dead for 87. Can they find E.Wolves? He doesn't have replicate. E.Wolves up in 16. They don't see him. Decide not to go for him if they did. They're going to check Roche instead, and E.Wolves going to walk up. There's going to be the shotgun coming at the team. The Adaptive Strike will grab the kill. Now the wait for away. They get the track up, but still a dead 1437 on the deck. They'll get the gem back here. And here comes the rest of the team. Ice Blast will sail through. They'll have to back out now. TC does his BKB, but he doesn't want to use it yet. This is very strange. They also have to buy back on Van. They need it. There's still that tier 2 tower down bottom. They don't want to let this go, but it's tough right now.
I think they just aim for their next Luna item and they'll be happy for the next fight. Too scary right now. The Harpy Stormcaller has 1800 night vision, very good to take over from the Dominator. Not to mention it has great offensive. That's going to help them control the Roche area.
Yeah, and they gave the buff to Helmet Dominator, giving you some extra HP on your little small creep. The Harpy Stormcrafter now has 1400 HP, which is pretty nice. So, not nice to kill. TC not quite at that Butterfly yet, and even if he was, he wants to save for buyback almost assuredly with how this game's been going. Butterfly is 78.75. He's sitting right now. He does have the Quarterstaff. He'll pick up the Eagle Song next. He's got enough for buyback with about 300 to spare. But Roche, there's no vision here for the Radiant Squad. They just killed that Harpy. There is now a Hex for Ewar, by the way. He does have buyback on top of that.
Guy is super fun.
Yeah, he's actually jacked
Playing
up.
Evoker very, very well.
These BKBs are starting to get low too. 6-second BKB duration for Morphling Bulb. I think it's 5. No, 6 still. TC Ewar, maybe 7? Yeah, 7 for Ewar. TC has 6 as well. So they're going to smoke up. They're going to head to the pit, but there's a replicate illusion in there. The Force Spirit will try to go toe to toe. They're going to find a pick instead of going for this actual rush fight. But everyone is grouped up. They're going to smoke up. Can they catch them from behind?
EY's going to do... Oh, if they spot anything. Not where they are yet.
They're going to
Bobo
find
might
real
get
soon. Bobo almost did break smoke onto Sia. Here it is. Not quite yet. No.
They're actually just following each other, but they don't know it. Oh man, if they go into the Roche pit and start this and then E.Wolves wraps around, they're just screwed.
They have back now. Their smoke's
Oh, did
done.
the Morph break? Oh, they see creeps.
They get the courier again. It was
2900.
2K. It's 4-7. Sia. Jump in. He's going to get hexed. Now he's in trouble. They force him. Fully survived. The mech will go through. He'll pop the BKB. Still in trouble. E.Wolves going to work. Smash in trouble. He'll fall. No echo check for him. C will fall. They also have the buyback on Smash at the end. They pop Manta. They're in trouble. Triple kill coming up for TC. And they're going to work. E.Wolves will from Boy. He's got the replicate. The adaptive strike. And it looks like TC will actually fall. They've lost the Invoker as well. He bought back. E.Wolves getting low. He still has that replicate. If they need it, Fisher will go through. It'll miss on completely everybody. Wait for him. They're looking for AY 2000. TC doesn't want to buy back here, but if they enter the Roche pit, Tornado will fly. X will come through. Sunstrike up. Can they get Ewo? Echo Slam flies up. He's still morphing strictly. Yelrock cannot afford to die here. Can try to blink away. Forces out, but he's not until 6 seconds. That might be it. Sonic Wave will fly at AU. Test will be the next fall. 5-man white. Great buybacks. That tier 2 tower coming into massive effect for E.Wolves. Losing 2 or 3, buying back on a couple, and now this game gets a lot harder for DC.
Well, Luna does pick up the Butterfly at least. If she had that in the last fight, I really feel like they could have won that fight. But she was taking way too much damage from the Morph.
Yes.
Especially with the stolen Luna illusion. Like, it's getting plus 58 damage and it gave way too much advantage. The fight looks so good for DC at the start as well because the Eclipse did so much damage in both Invoker and the other hero on side of the fight. Just went the wrong way there for DC, and then they just kind of fed their lives after they bought back.
You are going down for 59, and after taking Roche, they can still run right down bottom or mid, get this full set of racks, and have time to spare, it looks like. TC will try to deny that with, of course, his Butterfly now being picked up. His BKB is at 5-second duration. He does do a lot of damage, and like you said, maybe if he doesn't get hexed, if he doesn't get caught, that fight goes differently. He had half health when he popped his BKB. Maybe they can try something different now. Invoker up in 36. Ice Blast will sail in. TC and Bobo will get hit up with the trail. Gonna blink bottom and finish off the melee racks. It looks like the Assault Cuirass. Back protected. Not street-jetting normally.
Ice Blast just makes it just for BKB carries because they genuinely have to worry about getting low.
It is Ag's Ice Blast, by the way. Which only just ended. Glyph will come through and TC's up in 10. Melee Racks mid getting focused down. Band's getting pained out. They want to try to go on him, but he's got that Lincoln Script. They'll break it. Track will go through as well, and this is going to be a full set of Racks mid. BKB's TC's going to pop the Eclipse up and try to go to work. Z will pop the mech up and try to stay alive, but he will not make it through. They'll get the full hit of Rax, however, and they're looking for E.Wolves. Will he get the bottom set of Rax? He's actually hexed up, and he's got the Aegis. They'll jump in. Echo Sand flies through on Bulba. Meteor's going to fly. Deathwing Blast is advantage. He's getting low. Now E.Wolves still going to work for Death Ward. It's not doing nearly enough. He's still trying to morphing on the other side. TC going toe-to-toe. The Jesus popped, and he will die. That's a die back coming. He's dead for 100, and it looks like the first hit will go to the Peruvian squad of the E.Wolves. Iwar will go ahead and blink back. Ewo's still very low, but he has the Aegis, and he might lose it here. But the Cold Snap not doing damage. The Strength Morph is too real, and now Iwar is dead as well. Bubble the blast ball. And that is it. Elite Wolves take game number 1 here in the major qualifiers.
Man, Morphling was picked this game, honestly. Like, he didn't die at all. DC just didn't have the best. They didn't. Maybe you can blame Iwar for not getting an Orchid or something, but they just couldn't gank him. Like, they couldn't kill Morphling. Is superior to Luna in a 1v1 because he can always retreat when he wants to. He gets to initiate sometimes, you know. Like, Morph was just a superior carry there, and because Luna was never able to like win team fights and get advantage due to the supports and the carry of E.Wolves, Morphling just kept getting more and more and more farmed. Like, Witch Doctor couldn't do anything to Morphling.